What's really good? It's your boy Czarr, all rights reserved. Rocking with you, coming to you with another story. This is sad, but we got to talk about it. So as of recently, we all know RIP to ZackTV, another blogger and media mogul that has set the trend for many Chicago artists and Chicago bloggers to get light. Now what has happened is he has been pulled up on as he was leaving the concert, and he was shot in his head and his neck. As I'm doing my research, I'm starting to see that there may have been implications that caused these people to shoot him. Now, I don't have the details on what gangs were related to it or who was involved in the shooting, but I do know that it was unnecessary. This individual, now the only way I know about him is because, honestly, Chicago World News said he was on before him, and by the subscribers and things, I guess you can make that inclination, and he said it was true, but I knew Chicago World News before ZackTV, and I remember seeing him comment on a lot of Chicago World News videos. That's how I became familiar with ZackTV. So when I seen this happen, I was actually kind of shocked because of all he's done, how many people he's actually put in the game to make money. That's what was crazy to me. But ultimately, what we got to understand is from this incident, not only celebrate the life he lived and the people he helped, but going forward, I think it's time for everyone to pick up a movement. It's time for everyone to get together. Now, as we've seen recently, how black men have been being assaulted by authority, I think first and foremost, we need to get control of what's actually going on with the war scenario, the back and forth between gangs. We just seen last week Mogul got killed off of comments he made regarding another deceased person. What's up with disrespecting the dead? That's what I don't understand. You know, even people's comments after ZackTV, you may not have liked them, but I seen the comments that were saying F him, that were saying horrendous things about him after he's already dead. I don't understand that. And the thing that hit me with Mogul is there was comments about people joking on him being in hell, being tortured. I don't think that's something that represents the culture in any way, shape, or form, or should be something that we praise, let alone the fact that us as a society, us as a culture, has a lot to do with growth for our own selves. That's the thing that gets me. There's too much growth and too much prosperity that needs to occur. Now, one good point Chicago World News made in this video that I liked is how he talked about that, you know, a firearm, even though I think for some professions and just some people it's necessary to have or be prepared, he said he doesn't walk around with a gun, and because you think different. I fully agree with that. But in the same token, if you're going to be involved in a line of business that puts you in harm's way, you should be thoroughly prepared. Now, he was leaving somewhere early in the morning. You know, one thing I want to remark is, here's a comment that was made to me. There's nothing good out there going on at 2, 3 a.m. There's nothing good. And that would be what I add to this situation. Being out so late, being who he is, being he was by himself allegedly, I don't think it was a good idea for him to be over there where he was. I don't think it was either a good idea for him to be a little trusting of people he interviewed and different things, because allegedly there were people dying after he interviewed them off of what they said in interviews, and that's part of what led to his death. And that's what I'm saying. There's all ways to carry yourself, but how you carry yourself in certain situations will define your life. And it was good what he was doing. He was helping, let's say, an underprivileged group of people, but at the same time there was someone who took advantage of it or took it for granted and took his life. And when we look at this, you as a black man, us as black men, whoever's watching this, and you're an African American, this should not only open your eyes but make you say, wait, this is dumb. All we're doing is dumb. It doesn't mean anything. Killing each other doesn't mean anything. Shootouts don't really mean anything. There's so much drama that can occur in life, and so many instances where you could lose your life, that to be in a situation where you invite it, where you are bringing in people you know are enemies of other people you're going to see, I don't think that really makes sense. I think you should rock with one side and stick with one side, because the confusion happens in this situation where there's people saying he did so much good, but then the guys who really hated him aren't saying nothing. What did he do? What was the issue? Did he not deliver the interview right? Did someone get killed that, well, they were preferred to be alive? I'm not really understanding what death caused this. I heard a lot of people mention Kanika Jenkins' interview and different things. So why wouldn't those same gangbangers be riding around looking for the alleged hotel people that were involved in the video being shady? What I don't get is why we're so quick to kill each other, but you lastly check a Caucasian person or a cop. I never understood that. Trust me, I'll be quicker to check a cop before I am another black person. Maybe that's just how I think. Maybe that's how I move. But I have drama with a cop before I have drama with a black person. And maybe that's because of how I think. Maybe that's because of how I went through certain things in society or my own experiences. But when you chalk it up to situational, I just don't think it feels right. It doesn't sit right to say that he was murdered because he did an interview with Kanika Jenkins, or he was murdered because he did this gang's interview who said this and some rival gang took it the wrong way. I just don't understand that, because personally, that doesn't mean anything. So he's gone now, so a lot of people who are going to be on the come up or who are going to get their shot aren't going to have a shot anymore. He was one of the biggest bloggers in Chicago, actually bringing light, who actually knew what he was doing. Everybody else up to date has left because of the violence. But that's part of what I'm talking about. Like, it's okay to shoot and kill another one of each other, but when a cop rolls up, you drop everything and run. Like, I don't get that. If you have the heart to shoot another black man, why wouldn't you shoot a cop? Someone who's really trying to see you in a bad position, someone who really hates you. You know what I mean? And not over no dumb beef shit, not over no drama in the streets or anything like that, but it's like they just naturally want to see you dead. So why wouldn't you shoot at them and you'd shoot at a black man? That's something I don't get about Chicago. It's never made sense. I don't know if it's because the education level that's perceived by everybody, or just people who aren't awake to what's going on around them. I can't say anything else other than that, except how exceptional of a person he was for trying to give a chance to others who didn't have a means to bring the chance to themselves. Like, I don't think that could be looked down on. And ultimately, I look for someone to carry on what he started and to do it fearlessly like he did, you know. And I'm not going to say I hope to see anybody behind bars, because like I told you, I don't fuck with cops at all. That's why it's all rights reserved, because of the little things I know that they do or have done behind the scenes. And just the racism I know runs throughout the whole buildup of their team. In this state to state, there's always a select group that works, let's say, under the laws to try and get their convictions and different things. That's another thing that ZackTV Rights Reserve is going to be bringing for you. I'm going to be exposing the authorities that act outside the law, but then try to stand in the law. Those are the ones that should be dying. Those are the people you should be shooting, because they're going to be blackmailing and trying to accept money on the side, but put that badge on and walk to work like they did the right thing. Those are the people who you should be blasting at. That's just my opinion. And ultimately, this young man leaving only disenfranchised more people for the shot, when authorities aren't going to help you do anything but put cuffs on you. So again, can you explain to me why you're so quick to run from a cop? Why you're so quick to drop everything on a cop and just get the cuffs put on, but you'll be the first to shoot at another black man? I never understood that. Again, I never understood. That never made sense. I would think you would shoot the hell out of a cop if you were going to shoot a black man. But I guess not. I guess people aren't built that way. But ultimately, that's my point. Because a lot of them don't even do service. A lot of them never been in the Army, never been Marines, never been anything. They just get a hand up from family and get a lift up to make money. So why wouldn't you handle that? I never understood it. You know, that's my viewpoint and perspective about black on black crime versus these authorities we're saying are oppressing us. Was he oppressing you if you're shooting them? I don't get that. I never got that. So this cop could feel safe going to work, but that black man can't feel safe walking down the street because he got on a different color, or because he lives on a different area in a different street. I don't get that. That doesn't make sense. And I hope a lot of Chicago people see this and they let me know what that's about. I don't get that. Because you guys run from the cops. You're scared of the cops, but you'll shoot another black man. I would think if you'll shoot another black man, you shoot the hell out of a cop. That's just what I thought. But I'm wrong. I'm wrong. And I don't understand why. But ultimately, all I gotta say is y'all gotta be safe. And if you got outlets that are helping you grow, use them. Stop breaking bridges just off of clout. Stop breaking bridges over dumb shit. Ultimately, we all need to work together in some way, shape, or form. You already see what's going on. I ain't gotta explain it. You already know what's going on. I ain't gotta say it. We know. And you know how I rock. All rights reserved.